I've talked previously about the importance of retaining physical media like DVDs, Blu-rays, and also paperback books and hardback books. There's a number of reasons for this. In George Orwell's 1984, the Ministry of Truth reworked the contents of books and magazines to alter historic records. There's a particularly important quote from the book about this. "Every record has been destroyed or falsified. Every book rewritten. Every picture has been repainted. Every statue and street building has been renamed. Every date has been altered. And the process is continuing day by day and minute by minute." Another famous quote from that book is, "Who controls the past controls the future." Kind of reminds me of what we're going to talk about today. Now, regarding the alteration of past works, the following is a Euronews article that I found, dated 29th of March 2023. Agatha Christie novels edited to remove potentially offensive language. Now, I find this alarming, but also an act of cultural vandalism. The arrogant idea that people of today believe modern sensibilities can be applied retroactively to classical works, and that this process somehow improves them. It's truly disturbing. It's replacing what was, and it's denying us access to the truth of what was. And I also think this kind of thing is like a violation of the author's original intellectual property. A book is a product of a particular time and an historical moment and should be allowed to reflect that period, warts and all, as the author originally intended. It's not particularly sophisticated of our culture if we're not able to accept and understand the cultural context of a particular period of time. But above all, it is a person's personal work, it's their creation, and no one, no institution, no entity should have the right to modify that decades later in order to bring it in line with contemporary thinking. Why must past works be updated to reflect our society's changing morality? This isn't even addressing the fact that the moral standards of today are not fit to shine the shoes of the moral standards of decades past. So when it comes to classic books, it's important, I believe, to have copies of the original works when they were first published, because you never know when the politically correct brigade will advocate for them to be altered. And who knows how much further such alterations could go. I was thinking that we might one day see old films and TV shows changed, possibly using AI to alter dialogue or storylines deemed problematic or offensive. AI could be employed to seamlessly modify both audio and visual aspects of a film in order to remove offensive words or wrongthink. Or worse still, could AI tools even insert modern political agendas and ideology into such older films? Now, this isn't an issue if you've got a copy of the original film or TV show on DVD or Blu-ray. It only happens to be an issue when a new version of the film or TV show is released. And I'm not saying this is definitely going to happen. I'm just saying watch this space, because nothing would surprise me if it did happen. Let's see how things go. But given the pervasive nature of politically correct social engineering and agendas in Hollywood, nothing would surprise me if the power to accomplish such politically motivated digital vandalism were possible. Would you be surprised if certain activists pushed for this? Now, there is another reason I strongly believe in having a collection of physical media, and that's because of streaming services. If films and TV shows are altered in the future in the way I've described, these altered versions will probably make their way to streaming services first. But also, certain titles can disappear from streaming services for various reasons. Licensing, or because the film is no longer popular, or it could be removed for cancel culture reasons if it's deemed offensive wrongthink. Whatever the reason, it's good to be prepared. And if a streaming service goes out of business, what then? If you have exclusively been using streaming to watch your favorite content, then you've now got no way of watching it outside of buying it on DVD or Blu-ray or having the file on a hard drive. And the same goes for music, obviously. I've always preferred to have a physical copy of my media rather than rely on what is basically the potential flakiness of the cloud. Not just because content can be removed at any time for any reason, including by the original artist or the commercial rights holder, but you also have to contend with what happens when you have no internet access. When it comes to placing everything into the cloud, in relying entirely on streaming services, it blends very well with the idea of you'll own nothing. Subscription services to have access to something you once had in your possession, be it on a CD, a DVD, a Blu-ray, an SD card, a flash drive, or a hard drive. Physical media is a must to ensure that the entertainment you love is preserved, to avoid it being removed or, like I say, being altered in some manner in the future, should such a worst-case scenario occur. Having a massive archive of content backed up on a hard drive is ideal, but also just extremely prudent. I think we're far too reliant on streaming services, whose back catalogue can change at any time. There's nothing permanent about paying an ongoing subscription model so you have access to content, no matter how convenient it may be, no matter how many devices you can have it on. Purchasing something and physically owning it permanently, be it in a physical media form like a disc or just a file on a hard drive, gives peace of mind, and there's no longer any fee thereafter. It's yours and that's that. And I find that far more preferable. Ownership matters. I'm not interested in being a permanent renter of media. Let me know your thoughts on this in the comments below. Thank you very much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye. The Dave Cullen Show is made possible by you, my generous subscribers. If you'd like to support my work, head on over to my Subscribe star, linked below in the description box, and for a pledge of as little as $1 per month, you can help to keep the show going. I'm also doing one-to-one monthly subscriber chats. Thanks again. Take care.